Alright YouTube, today we're going to do a detail review of my 2015 Audi RS7 Dynamic Edition. The reason I wanted to do this review, one, is because I like the car, but two, it's something that I really couldn't find. I think when I was looking for this car, I only found one other person, Eddie X, who did a review of this specific edition. I think they had other people with walk-arounds and things like that, but they really never did a in-depth review of the things that I wanted to know about. Things like, where the USB ports, or if there are any USB ports, or, how does the MMI work, or things that you like about it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a detailed walk around, and we're going to see exactly how this car differs from some of the other RS7s. There are some stark differences in the things that you will see. I'll walk a little bit around the car. I'll do the outside first, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that make it different on the inside. So again, review of the RS7. I'll get back to you. All right, YouTube, so let me start. We're going to start from the front. We'll work our way from the back. I don't really know a lot about cars. I just know I like driving them. So I'm going to talk to you in the way that a normal person would talk to you about cars who wasn't an expert. There are a lot of people out there on the internet. If you want to know the facts and figures on cars and all kind of things, where they're designed and made, have at it. You can search. But I'm going to tell you what a regular person would like to know about the car. And the first thing I wanted to know about this car when I got it was, is it practical to have it, and can I drive it every day? And the first thing I would tell you is, yes, it is a daily driver. It is a car that you can definitely drive every day. The size and fit of the car, definitely worth it. My sons are gigantic. I'm 6'4". My sons are 6'1" and 6 foot, and they fit in here fine. The one thing I will say is the way it differs from an the way it differs from like an A7 or an S7 is that it definitely does not have room for 5 people. It only has room for 4 people. So that is one of the challenges if you are looking to have a big family. So it is a daily driver for people who only need 4 seats. So I will say that. But some of the things I really like about this car is that it is practical, and I can get mostly what I need out of it. So going to work every day, thumbs up, yes. As you can see, this is the Phantom Black pearl effect. So I'll go in really close so you can see it. It's nice out here today, so you can actually see the reflections of the pearl jumping off of the paint. I probably need to do some paint correction, but anyway, the car is beautiful. This is the Dynamic Edition, as I said. So it comes with the red brake calipers. I'm going to focus on that just really quickly. It doesn't have the ceramic brakes that the Performance Edition has, but this is the red brake calipers. They're steel, and they're carved out with drills to cut down on the weight. So one of the things I like, and it comes with the sports exhaust. So we can look at that. It actually is quite nice. The rear diffuser, as you can see, is carbon fiber. The side rocker panels are body painted, and then in the front, because we have to have stupid tags, the front has it doesn't have the Quattro on it, but it has the carbon fiber on the front. So it actually looks a lot more aggressive than the A7, slightly more aggressive than the S7, but overall, nice car. It does not, even though you will hear this on the internet, that it comes with the panoramic roof. It does not come with the panoramic roof. As you can see from the clouds on the top of my car, it has a sunroof, or a moonroof as some people call them, and then it has just the top painted body color. So let's go inside. So let's talk a little bit about the inside of the car. As you can see, the styling that Audi does is phenomenal. We're gonna cut it off and start back up so you can just see some of the things that just really make this car so nice. The The styling on this car, as you see, everything kind of goes in, but the styling on this car is phenomenal. And the Dynamic Edition was the first edition of the Audi RS7s that had the Audi exclusive interior. So what they did is they tried to showcase the very best in what the Audi exclusive shop could do. So what they did is they did red stitching throughout, as you can see from the seats, red stitching throughout, red stitching on the doors, of course the calipers are red, red stitching on the steering wheel. It doesn't have the flat bottom steering wheel, unfortunately, but I mean, that's just kind of one of those things. I'm actually cool with the steering wheel. One of my friends has a flat bottom and it's nice, but for everyday use, since this is a daily driver, the round steering wheel is fine. Red stitching on the doors. And then what you will notice, Audi exclusive. That's how you know you have a custom kind of interior where somebody actually took the time to pick out what was inside the car and make it a little bit different from your regular RS7s. The other thing you'll notice is that it's hard to see, but it has the Alcantara suede headliner, which is actually a crazy expensive option. The other thing that it has inside, and I'm going to crank it up just so you can see, but we have the Bang & Olufsen speakers. So let me crank it up so you can hear. You'll be able to hear the exhaust note too. I mean, that's one of the things that I find about that's so amazing. I mean, the way it starts. And you can't beat having 200 on the dash. I think here inside the car is actually quite quiet. But if I sat and I revved the engine, you could hear, oh, let's do it one time. You know, but other than that, when you're just sitting around, as I said, as a daily driver, it's quite quiet. One of the things you might have noticed, but we're going to focus on right now, is with the Bang & Olufsen system, it actually, the tweeters in the front of the dash, they pop up when the car turns on. So let's do that. We're going to do that again, just so you can see. I think it's worth it. In terms of sound system, it's actually quite clear. In my last Audi, I had the Bose system, and I liked that. I thought it was good. But the system, I noticed with the highs actually are just a little bit nicer. The other thing I forgot to mention about the Dynamic Edition is that the Dynamic Edition has red seat belts, which I just thought was so amazing in this car. So sport seats, which are actually, you can bolster them out. They move out so you can see the different bolstering on it. But the sport seats are a nice option. The thing that about the sport seats that some people don't like is that they're not cool. So they're heated, but they're not cool. But then I saw the comfort seats, and the comfort seats that the Audis have, I just don't think they fit a sports car very well. But for a family sedan, if you had like an A7 or an S7, might be nice. But the sports seats are just, I mean, like, they just pop. Having the RS7 logo in there, I mean, it's just, you can't beat that. Some of the things that I liked too, which I didn't know and nobody really went through it when I was looking for videos, is that one of the things that you will be tracking a lot if you buy this car is that you're going to be tracking the consumption of fuel. Or you may not, but I do because I use it as a daily driver. And you just need to know, so that's one of the screens, and you can scroll through the different screens. I mean, they'll talk about the average speed and all this other stuff, but consumption of fuel to me is one of the more important things. But they have different things. So that's the onboard computer. They have the efficiency program that tells you, like, I'm using the AC. So, oh, look, the AC's on, so I'm using a quarter gas an hour, a quarter tank of gas, or eighth of a tank of gas an hour, whatever. I mean, I'm gonna leave the AC on because it's hot. And then you have the digital speedometer, which a lot of people like to use. I don't use it because, as you can see on the dash, this car comes equipped with heads-up display. And the heads-up display not only shows you, like your speed, but it'll show you the direction if you're doing navigation, but it'll also show you the stop and start feature that you have with your cruise control. I use that a lot too, only because even like in city driving, there are a lot of people who just don't pay attention, and the stop and go function, when you're just driving along, it will slow down when the car in front of you slows down. And if somebody like darts in front of you, it will brake. This also has the Audi crash avoidance system, but I don't ever want to test that. Basically, when you're about to crash, it'll tighten up the seatbelts. It'll slow the car down to close to brake speed if you're like it's an imminent crash, to try to protect you from injury. One of the things that I do like about this car, like I said, I love the fact there's carbon fiber everywhere. I mean, like it's a beautiful car. It's amazing. But like I said, it is a car that a regular person can get in. This is the lane assist. I can leave that on too, and I'll show you like if you're departing lanes, things like that. It's just a nice car to have. I think some of the things that I just couldn't find when I was on the internet, I was like, oh, I want this car, but you know, what do I need in terms of USB ports? So let me open this up. So one of the things you see down here, I had to put in a USB kind of adapter, but it does have a power outlet there, and it also has a power outlet in the back. And so from there, I just put a double USB thing in there, one for my GoPro. But it has this Audi music interface, which I think, you know, the newer Audis don't have that. It's kind of an archaic interface, but I do have the one that you can do for the adapter for the iPhone, but you can get the one that's adapt for the Google phones and things like that. I just found that was I just thought that was kind of something that Audi should move away from, but you know, they like their proprietary stuff. Oh, one of the things also I think I like, but people just don't really talk about a lot, it's a cooled glove box. I don't even know like if that's a thing anymore, but basically if you put something in there, not like ice cream, but you put something in there that needed to stay cold or cool, you can put it in there, like your phone overheats or whatever, you can put it in the glove box and it's cool. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, oh, okay, I get it, I'll rock with that. We're gonna look at the back really quickly. I mean, I'll show you the engine, but the engine is not that interesting. I think I have pictures of the engine, so I'm just gonna drop the pictures in. I'm not gonna go and open it up because I took pictures when we were at Cars and Coffee. So I'm dropping them in somewhere around here, so you'll see pictures of my engine. The other thing I like, and I'm gonna go outside to do this. I'm gonna jump out. This car has soft closed doors, and I had never really dealt with cars with soft closed doors before. But basically, if you close it a little bit, the doors shut by themselves. Let's do that again, because that just is a crazy feature for me. And that wasn't something I necessarily wanted, but I thought it was cool. In the back, so this car is adjusted for me. I'm gonna get in the back. It is not a good fit. Like, this car is adjusted all the way back for me, but as you can see, I'm gonna stop it and turn it around. It is not a good fit. I mean, I could fit in here if I really tried, but I would probably have to have the driver move their seat up. So this is for someone 6'4". It is not a lot of space back here if you're driving like with your seat all the way back, but if you drive in a normal way, it's okay. And I should have had my sons here, but they're traveling. But just so you could see, again, it has the suede headliner, which I like, all the way through, and then all the lighting is LED lighting. Yeah, this is no good. Again, the RS7s are amazing. Like, they have just the attention to detail is crazy with this, like I said, with the red stitching and things like that. Super nice. This panel, kick panel on the door sill, it actually lights up, and I'll show you that later once I get back in the garage, but it's kind of crazy. Remember what I said, soft closed doors? Soft closed doors are they're just phenomenal. Trunk space, again, I think the reviews do talk about this. This is kind of cool. I saw one review that had the trunk that had a pop-up sunscreen in the back. The RS7s unfortunately do not have that. It's the S7s that have, and the A7s that have the pop-up screen. And so that is not a feature that I've seen. The windows, my windows are actually tinted. When I got it, they were like, you could see the sky clear. And now these are kind of like, I think they're 30%, which is actually good. It keeps kind of cool on the inside, but if you sat in there, you would fry like, you know, remember those commercials? This is your brain on drugs. I mean, your brains would fry if you sat in this car without the air on. Anyway, I'm gonna show you a little bit more once we get back in the garage, and then we're gonna end. All right, so the last part of what I want to talk about, and which I wanted to know more about in terms of functionality. I mean, I had it in my old car, and I wanted to see if there were any changes from this car. For people who have Audis, it is old hat. It's not, there are no changes for this model. It's a 2015. The newer ones actually have been updated so that you can have, it's similar to the newest virtual MMI thing, the new virtual cockpit stuff that the Audi has. And so I like it. I'm gonna put the light on a little bit just so you can see, but I like it in terms of the new one. It has, it'll have your Google Maps here, and it'll have your Google Maps there, and it's kind of updated, but it's not necessary. So like now I have my Google Maps here, and I'll talk more about that in another video about how you can actually hack that, so you don't have to pay Audi Connect fees. And over here it'll show you the navigation, and like I said, it'll show you the navigation in the pop-up display on your heads-up display. Car's awesome, but the MMI basically gives you all the information that you want. I'm gonna just do a little bit to show you. I mean, I'm gonna continue to talk, and then we'll figure out how to splice these things together in a sec. But what it does do is the MMI. Well, I mean, it shows you all the things you need to know about your car. Like, so for Audi Drive Select, normally I drive an individual because I have the settings where I have an exhaust note that sounds aggressive, but actually the suspension and things are comfort. And then the steering wheel I put in dynamic just so it's more responsive to the road. Comfort is way too soft. So in my opinion, if you buy this car, do not ride in comfort mode, just because everything is kind of loosey-goosey and soft. And if you're used to driving cars, it is, as my friends would say, no bueno. It's not good. The other thing you can do in here is, so like I said, you can change it to auto. Auto is kind of like it'll adjust to your driving needs, but I don't really like it that much. Individual, you can set the individual, and you can actually go in and you can play around with the different settings, which is great. And then if you just really want to go balls to the wall, you just go dynamic, and dynamic is great. I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't make you burn any more gas. It just hardens and stiffens the suspension. One of the things that's unique about this edition, so we talked about the special interior, and that's like, I want to say it was a $12,000 upgrade, was a dynamic suspension. The dynamic suspension you can get from Audi, so it doesn't have the air suspension. It has like this magnetic assist kind of thing. I don't know technical terms, you can look it up, but it's a dynamic suspension, and so basically it makes it stiffer going around corners and around tracks. I'm not tracking the car, but I thought that was cool. All in, this car, has all of the bells and whistles that you could have gotten when it came out in 2015. Like, it was really like a show car, and because it's in the Northern Virginia area where the Audi Volkswagen headquarters are, of course somebody had that car and they spec'd it out that way. So the list price on this car with all of those things was $144,000 or $143,000. It's crazy. I mean, like, one of the things that you want to do, and I'll talk about this in another video about buying CPO and stuff like that, but you want to look at CPO cars. Anyway, so all the information you could possibly want in your MMI. If you're doing things with the nav, it actually has, it doesn't have a touchscreen, which Audi, shame on you, Audi, for not changing the touchscreen yet. But you can do things here where you can actually touch stuff. So you can change the radio. As you saw when I was doing this, it changes the radio. But you can also, if I'm putting in destinations, it'll allow me to, if I'm putting in a destination, let's go to Washington, D.C. It changes, you saw. The numbers go away, and I can actually write. And when I write something, it comes up, right? So, yeah. So, the MMI thing, and it does voice control and all this other stuff. So it has a lot of features that cars typically have. The radio, standard things, regular radio, HD radio, satellite radio, which I like. And then media, I can play DVDs on it, which I thought was kind of crazy. I had no idea, but I guess I just never think about that. My kids are old now, so we don't watch DVDs in the car. But I guess it works for the people that it works for. Anyway, with YouTube, I think that is it for today. I know people have been asking. I wanted to make sure that I got this video out. Like, it is, I just wanted to make sure that my car was clean, and it's the right time to do a kind of, this is an Audi RS7 Dynamic Edition video. I love the car, but I'll talk more about that in other videos about the things that I would have changed in getting this car. But I love it. I'm gonna hit it one time for you, so y'all you can hear it. I'll put the window down so you can hear how loud it is. And here's the light up door sills, as I promised. Pretty nice, right? With that, GB Reviews out. Thanks for watching. Please leave your questions and comments below. Please subscribe to my channel. GB out.